have joined the nationwide strike called by the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress. The NLC and TUC had said they would embark on a nationwide strike for midnight, and they did do that, and the action is still on right now. Joining us to gauge the impact on the Nigerian economy and other matters is Mr. Idris Shuaibu, economist, joining me from our Abuja studio. Great to have you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
So, first of all, give us your take on the strike action embarked upon by the TUC and NLC.
I think it's most unfortunate, ill-timed, and really disheartening to see the way Labour has behaved in the last 24 hours. If you look at the genesis of this crisis, a gentleman who is the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress and who happens to come from Imo State decided to visit his state with a view to championing the causes of the common man, if you like, and in particular the civil servants in the state, because we were told for almost 44 consecutive months the state government has not been able to pay their salaries. Now, a national leader who decide to go to his domain or his state to champion the cause of workers, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I think the way and manner the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress are taking the issue that eventually arose arising from the NLC president visit in Imo some 45 days ago or 2 months ago is rather unfortunate. Can you imagine, because one person has been quote and unquote said to have been maltreated, the entire Nigerian economy, most part of it yesterday was grounded to a halt, and quite a number of people have lost money, they have lost businesses, they have lost time, and even hospitals. People who would have gotten attention by medical practitioners happen not to have gotten the attention because one person, was said to have been maltreated. Yes, I do believe that the Nigerian police will certainly have rooms to improve, because even the best system has room for improvement. But let's call a spade a spade. They may have been wrong in manhandling the NLC president, but is that enough reason why we should all cast aspersion on the Nigerian police and then to plunge the country into the crisis that we have plunged, the NSA has plunged this country to? Yesterday, most part of Nigeria, there was no light. Imagine the quantum of resources, factories and offices expended in trying to generate electricity using diesel. Your guess is as good as mine, but I'm sure billions of naira were lost yesterday, and they will continue to lose today because these guys have refused to heed calls by senior citizens, religious leaders, and even a competent court judgment restraining them from embarking on this strike.
And definitely, Mr. Shuaibu, he is quite a big deal, the NLC president, at this point. And how else do you think, this could have been handled? Even though I'm not, I don't like strike action at this time, but considering the economy is going through a lot, right now. But how else could the NLC and TUC have handled this matter, in your opinion?
My dear brother, we are not living in a banana republic. We are living in an environment where there are laws and there are regulations, there are rules, there are quite a number of strategies and policies put in place that aggrieved persons can actually seek redress. We have courts of competent jurisdiction. Why wouldn't NLC, for example, take the police to court? Why wouldn't the NLC or the person, the president of the NLC, who was said to have been molested, why wouldn't he seek redress in a competent court so that his rights can be, established, and if there are any liabilities, such infringement, he could claim damages. Why will the entire Nigerian population of 250 million population be plunged into crisis because one person is said to have been molested? I do agree. If the label says, one for all and all for one, but then let reason always prevail. We are not living in a jungle society. We're not living in a banana republic. We have leaders, we have governors, we have local government chairmen, we have a president, we have ministers, we have judges. And I am sure the last time I checked, there are quite a number of people that have approached Nigerian courts, even for libel, talk less of physical injury. And people have gotten judgment, and judgments have been enforced. So why didn't the Labour Congress, why didn't Ajero himself in his personal capacity, since he was the one who was injured, why didn't he go to court? I mean, are we saying that the courts are useless?
Right. Paint a picture for me right now, and for us viewers here. What kind of damage would this have on the economy right now? Do you see us, making any headway with this strike culture, that we have in Nigeria? Mr. Shuaibu, I don't know if you heard me.
No, I didn't hear you. Sorry, I lost the...
Yeah, so I was saying, what kind of, I want you to paint a picture, for us. What kind of damage would this, this current industrial action, what kind of damage will it have on the economy, right now? And are we making any headway, with the strike culture in Nigeria? Are we getting any benefits from, the countless number of strikes we embark on in this country?
My dear brother, if I were to dimension the losses and the consequential damages inflicted to this country, we will be talking into billions of naira, like I said. Number one, let's look at how much money companies, organizations, and offices have spent to generate electricity just to sustain operation using generators. How much diesel in terms of naira and kobo have we used to generate electricity arising from these issues? Number two, let's look at the consequential loss. When you use a generator, you automatically emit smoke and you deflate climate. So in an era where we are talking of sustainability, we are having this kind of, quagmire. We are also exacerbating, the heating of our climatic condition. Number three, quite a number of people have had appointments. I am currently attending Chartered Institute of Personnel Managers annual conference in Abuja. From day before yesterday to yesterday, a number of us human resource practitioners have had to grapple with this, strike action. Quite a number of people that are in a hospital, in one hospital or another, have had either, doctors not being able to attend to them, some people wanting to get to one location or another, commuting from one location to another has been enormously inhibited. I mean, 1 hour will be too short and a time to dimension the level of damages. If you trace the history of the Nigerian Labour Congress from the time of Hassan Sumonu to today, how many of labor unions strike action produce any impactful result? There's a popular saying that whatever peace cannot, achieve, war will certainly not achieve it. And even if you decide to go to war, quote and unquote, in this case, you go on strike, you still have to come back to a drawing table. You need to go to a conference room, sit down, discuss the issues, and find an amicable way to settle these issues. I am, a labor practitioner. I am an entrepreneur, and I sympathize with labor. I do sympathize with labor, but then the level of my sympathy and empathy ends with a situation where you just want to go on strike at the slightest opportunity. I tell you, my brother, yesterday, quite a number of our conference participants couldn't get to the airport to fly to Abuja for this conference. They have made payment for the conference, they have made hotel bookings, they have bought air ticket, and they couldn't go. What kind of thing is this? Because of one person? Yes, I know that, the saying goes, if they go for one person and you refuse to act, the next you may be the next person. But that notwithstanding, the labor need to tread on the part of caution. They don't need to plunge this country into another crisis, particularly at this point in time when the cost of living has been enormously high. We are witnessing hyperinflation. There is devaluation. There is fuel subsidy removal. There has been this, there has been that, and yet we exacerbate the suffering of companies and the common man because someone was said to have been maltreated in Owerri. Come on. We should grow up out of this. Labor should grow out of the era of plunging the country into crisis, calling for industrial action as the slightest opportunity. Let us borrow from what happened in Britain when the labor union during Margaret Thatcher regime decided to plunge the United Kingdom into monumental crisis, and Thatcher said the lady ain't turning back, and we had winter of discontent, and eventually the labor lost its steam and completely became disseminated. If NLC and TUC does not take care, they may end up losing support. I have been reading in quite a number of sections of the media where a number of staff and indeed their financial members are not in support of this action. So why is it that a few leadership of these unions will just be hijacking and insisting that the nation should be brought to a halt because of any minute issue?
Right, I guess compliance definitely is still an issue here. And Nigerians, businesses, individual households, everyone is going through a lot right now. We definitely don't need to compound all of that strain. Thank you so much for your perspective today, Mr. Idris Shuaibu, economist. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll take a break now. Still ahead on Business Morning, we get a sense of the state of entrepreneurship in Nigeria. Given the macro headwinds, also keeping tabs on the markets. That's to come. Just stay with us.